So what now? Is it all out now? Is the album out at this point, or do I still have to wait till like the end of April?
Unfortunately, we have to wait till the end of April. The next single drops on March 12th, and then the end of April is the full album.
I love that. Stretching it out, man.
Yeah. Live performance, though. You could do like a storyteller's type of performance where you do the entire album all the way through and tell the stories of each song in between. Ooh.
Okay, I like this brainstorming session.
Yeah.
I like that.
Joe's your virtual producer. He always has three great ideas every
You know
interview.
what? that type of performance at like a hotel cafe would really go a long way, I think, with the press too. Because it's all about getting your name out there. You got to like make the people happy and stuff. So
you got to wait till the whole thing comes out. And the way you're doing it, it's going to be like 12 months.
All right. That might be a little bit hyperbolic, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying when you're ready for the full album, I just think that would be a fun performance way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking actually with the record label we're looking at developing some sort of live performance component. Problem is that it's hard to track down and get 14 musicians to especially play like a cafe or something, because a lot of the album was recorded with only 8 players, but a couple tracks were 14. So looking at a way to maybe kind of pare it down for live performances that would just be piano, electronics, or maybe a string player like that to kind of do some interesting arrangements with it,
and then make a multimedia presentation.
Joe, dude. Tyler's got members of the London Philharmonic Orchestra on this album, so getting them to Hotel Cafe might be a bit of a trek. Hey,
Los Angeles has a world-class level orchestra of their own, which I am sure people would love to come and play. Because don't just say London only has one. Yeah, there's players all.
And LA is really actually just filled up with very talented musicians for sure, especially in the classical space.
All he has to do is go to the Hollywood Bowl during a practice session and say, "I'm Daniel Radford. Who wants to play in my band?" And you'll get tons of people.
That's right. What am I doing? I'm underselling myself. I just need to walk in there and just go, "Look at me. Come play for me.
Come play with me." You know what? They will leave their seats immediately and just follow you like a Pied Piper.
Forget this rehearsal. Yeah.
So what happens now, Tyler? Like, where does LIMINA go at this point? This is the second album, started in 2020, 2024. This album's coming out. Are you making more songs? Are you going to do B-sides? What's the deal with where do you go from here?
Really the plan from here, I'm switching back into some film scoring work for a little while, but I am really excited about just continuing to explore in this sonic space and finding that electronic neoclassical kind of fusion and exploring that. So I do have some ideas cooking, and I feel some of the processes, how it came together with this album is I write a couple ideas, jump onto a film project, come back, write some ideas. So it's kind of turning out like that again. But I'm going to keep on making music in this space for sure.
Hey, Barry, can I ask a question real quick? I know I just jumped.
No. Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hey, does your experience in the film industry influence how you actually write? Because it's different, because you're telling a story. It's like a lot of times people are just telling like a little story in like 3 or 4 minutes, like that's the entire story. You tend to like go on a bigger scale. And is that because of your film experience?
It absolutely is. I've always been obsessed with storytelling, and it is hard like being a film composer. That is so much of my work, is how do I help tell this story? And so even though I'm now like with LIMINA, I get to just fully explore and say, hey, this is what the story I want to tell. I am always going to tell a story with my music. Like I'm always locked into that, and experimenting it on long form, like you said, over 12 tracks where I get to go, all right, I'm gonna get a full arc. Is so exciting to me. But yeah, it is always, I'm always telling a story with my music, whether that's in the track or over the course of an album. That's just, I'm always locked into that.
Very interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna put a hypothetical out there for you, Tyler.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You can find more from Limina at tylerdurhammusic.com. That's a good place to start, right? Is there a better website, or is that the place to start?
No, that's the main one. Yeah.
So I'm reminded of these artists that have been coming out. They released their record. Noah Kahan is a good example. He just played Saturday Night Live, and he released his record, and it got super big. And then he started releasing singles with like other artists. He did his single with Post Malone, and I was like, everyone looked at that song going like, wow, that's an interesting like collaboration. Nobody ever thought of that, you know? And then I think there's another one, but these are starting to pop up. These artists that, they release the record and then they release a second single with like some featuring on it. So let me ask you over there, if you could work with anybody in the whole universe galaxy that has to be alive and making stuff, has to have like an email.
Isn't Daniel Radcliffe or Chris Evans?
Yeah.
Could be, but
we wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Right.
Who would you want to have featured on one of your tracks?
You know what? This is going to feel way out of left field, but I've always wanted to. I love the old hellos. And I always thought it would be a really cool fusion to take my sensibilities, which is very much so in the cinematic, like I said, neoclassical electronic space, and then do switching to their kind of folk pop fusion and create some cool collaboration there. I've always thought that would be really fun and exciting. So there's
the Oh Hellos from Texas. Yeah. How about that, man? Interesting. That would be a really interesting mashup, and that's very possible. You should email them.
You should, they'll probably be up for it.
You know what I mean?
And I'll just lead with, I'm Daniel Radcliffe / Chris Evans. So read this email. Do not ignore. Yeah.
Do not ignore. We could be the new postal service. Just think about it. Okay. Hey, Barry, you know what? I'm going to flip that question back on you. You could work with anybody or you can interview anybody. Who would you want to talk to?
Joe, I'm happy where I'm at, though. I don't have any aspirations or goals or dreams. I have everything I want. The answer to your question is you, and at this moment in time, Tyler. So,
wait, who's Tyler? I thought we were talking to Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Again, okay.
You guys are going to I'm going to have an identity crisis.
I'm give you a complex.
He's immediately going to shave. Watch. All right, so let's play some.
I don't mean to give you a complex.
Well, you can see him at tylerdurhammusic.com. All the ladies love the 5 o'clock shadow, so you're in for a treat there. Okay, let's play Sanctum and tell them all about Sanctum, which is the single of the moment from Limina. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So as I described earlier, Sanctum is the start or part in our story where we start to the protagonist just actually starts to look inward and really come to peace, which is where she is and where she wants to go. So there's a lot of spirituality mixed into this track, and I'm not religious, but it still conjures that sort of presence of I turned all these church bells and detuned them, so a lot of the hits and kind of deep rumbles in the track are all these just detuned processed bells, and the opening for that track is very textural and very much so like this wave that's like pushing towards you, and I wanted that to feel as if there is a moment where she's just releasing, like releasing inward. So you get this huge wave of sound and push, and then you feel that like ebb and flow, that peaceful ebb and flow of just that, it's almost like a heartbeat, just regulating and being in that peaceful space. So that's really the flow of the track and what I wanted to embody with it.
See, Joe, a true composer, he knows how to explain the music that he made. Did you hear that? We're gonna get hit with a wave of sound, right? We're not gonna hear this song. We're gonna experience it together.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Tyler, thanks for making music, man. Please come back anytime you have a single out. We want to hear every one, and we want to play it out here. So great success with Limina, and thanks for coming on Night Sounds.